Hi, this is Jonathan Tiersten from the Perfect House and Sleepaway Camp, and you are listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast at Denver Comic Con 2014 in 4 weeks and beyond.
Oh, man, that's scary. That's so close.
Good. No, actually, start getting excited.
It's going to be cool.
Like, I have a freaking erection right now.
Get that away.
No,
It's so close to my eye.
I'm pointing it right at you, Brad, because
Stop it.
June 1st, we're going to make an announcement about Real Nerds, or around June 1st, hopefully. We'll make an announcement about Real Nerds' participation in it.
We have something special coming up that we've organized.
It's in the
for that.
pipeline.
It's in the pipeline. Oh, we're in it, but I don't want to announce it until I know like the schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to be there.
We
We'll
want to
be
give you
there.
the right information.
Yeah.
We'll be there. Plus, we'll have a little special something.
I would say if you're planning to go to the con, if you're going to plan to go to the con, block out some time to
Come hang out.
come hang out in one of the rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the first season of the Pod
Maybe
Show
each
will
day.
be on Blu-ray DVD soon.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we're going to have something special for those people as well. So stay tuned for exciting announcements about Denver Comic Con coming up. We also have been given the design for the T-shirt that Brad did. That's pretty epic.
Yeah.
you.
It's going to be cool.
You guys like it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't make me the fucking penguin, you dick.
I'm your friend. I wouldn't do that to you
I appreciate that.
as much as I wanted to.
I know. With
It'd be
the,
so much easier to draw.
Funny little flappers and a long nose.
yeah, and cigarette holder. What are those even called? Cigarette stick? I
It's
don't know.
called a Cruella de Vil mouthpiece.
Yes, the Cruella de
I
Vil.
think it's just a cigarette holder.
Is it cigarette holder?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a cigarette holder.
I don't know. I don't smoke.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But if you're
You
wondering,
know that actual smokers don't use those currently. Like in
they
my-
should. That'd
Like,
be awesome.
Like if tomorrow you decided to start smoking cigarettes,
I was
going to
use it.
Go on. Oh, all right.
You should
can if
bring
you
it
want.
back. Start
I'm going to.
smoking.
I'm going to start smoking just so I can use a cigarette holder.
I'd love to see that. Like
That's like a
used
hipstery
like,
thing to do.
In the,
It would be.
in the Qdoba behind the counter. Like people are coming up, and there you are with like a 16-inch cigarette holder.
Yeah, what burrito can I get you?
So
Yeah.
why would they? I don't understand the concept behind it though. What's it for?
It's probably to like keep the ashes from falling on.
And you don't put it on your finger, I guess.
Yeah, no, you're not actually touching the cigarette. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I guess it makes sense. If so, all the smokers out there, please email us about what we'd use a Cruella de Vil cigarette
Yeah.
holder for.
Well, and you got to remember, like they probably, it was a transition from smoking from like pipes and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once you had like this easy little cigarette thing, you could, you'd want to have something you put it in.
The
Naturally.
pipes are cool.
Totally. Yeah. They make you look educated.
They do, and with your tweed jacket
Uh-huh.
with the patches on the elbow.
That's why I smoke.
Yep, everybody should. I always laugh now that movie ratings. In case you're wondering what Real Nerds do, we go see a new movie every week, and we broadcast our experience to the world. This week, we actually had the fortune of seeing 2 new movies.
We did.
We saw Blue Ruin, which is an independent revenge thriller. Karen, the amazing manager at the Alamo Draft House. The other movie we saw, which is Neighbors.
Which is another revenge.
Yeah, it is
But
kind of
studio.
revenge.
Totally. Yeah.
Studio-sized revenge movie.
So, Karen at Alamo, thank you for introducing us to Blue Ruin. To see what we felt about both those movies, please stay tuned to the end of the show where we review the movie and spoil the shit out of them.
Well, we should try to not spoil Blue Ruin very much, as much as we can, since it's like just released in Denver and hasn't been out for very long. But we'll do our best.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to spoil it because I don't care.
All right, fine.
Because you know what? Every week we talk about movie news, what's coming out on Blu-ray, some comic book news, a comic book you should be reading, what we've been watching. But this week, the return of Dan from Ohio has sent us an email. And you know what? I'm not going to read it because it pisses me off. So, Brad, you're going to read
Awesome. I get to read something.
Dan's from Ohio's email.
That's funny.
And when you say the name of the title of this email, you'll know why, too. Hang on, I just got a new... Well, it's not literally. They're still producing stuff?
Dude, don't be a dick.
Why? What have they ever done for me? What have they ever done for me? They've been on my show twice. I promote them, and they don't even do anything for me.
I know. You
Well, they were
created 6
on our
episodes
show.
of a web series.
I know.
I don't see any reposts about that.
Yeah, and
They were in one
they
of
don't
them.
even listen to us. They pretend they do. They don't. Haven't heard anything. Anyways,
That's
this is
really a
fan
good
mail.
thing. Fan mail.
All right, this is a letter email from Dan from Ohio.
He was so
titled
unimpressed that he actually sent it through the mail.
Yeah.
With the great title of Spider Meh.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, I wish I'd titled last week's show that.
Oh, you dick.
The Amazing Spider-Man.
There were
That'd
2
been
weeks
funny.
where I titled a show like bland in the title. I was like, oh, what the
Yeah.
fuck did I do?
You could just call it The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Save yourself that.
Or Nerdscendence. I don't know. Yeah, that's what happens when I get overworked.
Oh, Transcendence.
Bad
is
ideas. Anyway, greetings. Please
Hello.
don't take offense. But
Whoa, he knows who he's talking to.
yeah,
Yeah.
he knows where this is my.
He's like
What
he like
shitstorm
approaches
this
the
might
throne
erupt.
groveling like, "Hello, sir." Okay, go ahead.
Please don't take offense, but I don't get you sycophantic Spider-Man fans, particularly Web Spider-Man.
Ooh.
These amazing Spider-Man films couldn't be more generic, in my opinion, and don't have any of the heart of Raimi's first 2 films. I agree, Dan.
I disagree.
Rather than being emotionally engaged, as you were, I felt manipulated. Aunt May's speech about raising Peter, Gwen's death, the kid standing up to the Rhino, they all felt like contrived and obvious attempts to manipulate the audience. And this tone is ever present with the Gwen Stacy character, as the film is constantly telegraphing her fate. No comments?
I would agree that there is an
I was going to wait till you
exorbitant
finish.
there's
Okay.
an exorbitant amount of foreshadowing there, but for somebody like my parents who don't know that story, I think it works really well because that's what they told me.
I feel like they have to because it's the only story in the movie.
It's the most interesting and impactful story in the
Yeah.
Well,
movie.
why do you need more stories in a movie? Shouldn't it just be telling one story, a focused narrative?
True, but when they throw in all those other threads, they should also have strong stories of their own.
So what you're
that tie
saying is
into
that
that story.
they should be able to make a superhero movie where he never fights a villain?
No, I'm saying if he's going to fight a villain, it should have some kind of strong, meaningful connection to. Anyway,
Oh, like changing the Joker's origin story where he kills Batman's parents? Lame.
that's not this scenario at all. I'll grant you that it's harder today for a comic book film to rise above the fold and be a game changer like the original Spider-Man, The Dark
Disagree.
Knight, or Iron Man. But The Amazing Spider-Man 2 seems to be playing it especially safe and has no larger aim than fan service. Excelsior!
I disagree with the argument that it is harder for a comic book movie to rise above now. I actually think if you look at a movie like The Winter Soldier, where they are deliberately trying to make that movie into like a sort of spy thrillery kind of, they're trying to break out of the genre that they're in. I think it's actually a whole lot easier to do something like that with comic books now because people understand the genre and actually want to see it grow outside of what they are. But yeah, all of his complaints are the things that I fully expected from other people in the movie. I just don't agree. Yeah, I don't know. I still think that the Gwen Stacy story is really, really solid in that movie, and I don't think it's pandering. I think it's
Because
I
they
think
already had
he's-
the template for it.
I
They
think
didn't really
he's-
write it.
Yeah,
They just adapted it.
right.
They did.
but I mean that's true for a lot of movies.
So
Like,
it
just
wasn't
because
hard to
it's-
do. That's what I'm saying.
Why does it have to be hard to do? Why does the story have to be hard to do?
No, I'm not saying it has to be hard to do. I'm just saying like it wasn't like it succeeded because the work was already done for them. Whereas they had to take Electro instead of just obviously his story is lame in the comics, is from what I heard.
Yeah, get struck by lightning.
But they didn't do much better with it, is what I'm saying.
yeah,
Like, they had this other opportunity to make a better story out of that and tie it into, like, make it part of the Gwen Stacy death story, and they just didn't do that. So,
I agree.
missed opportunity.
But
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know that I really feel like Electro needed to be that important. I mean, yeah. In the same way that, like, well,
Everyone I've talked
Yeah.
to said, like, Electro's whole motivation and story is just, like, one of the weakest things in the movie.
no, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Electro is the weakest part of the movie. He's also really cool though. Like he's
visually cool,
The
for
fight
sure.
scenes are really cool.
That's
and
what's really disappointing
that's
about
all
it.
That's all it really brings to the film. Yeah, I will agree that I think that especially because the similar moment in Amazing Spider-Man 1 is so much better. The little boy putting on the mask and running up to Rhino is totally pandering. But and especially considering that they did the exact same scene in the first movie, and it was so much more powerful in the first movie. But it's really there because of Peter Parker showing up and becoming Spider-Man again. That's really what it's about. It's not necessarily about the kid showing standing up to the Rhino, but
Yeah, to me it isn't, because the whole story arc, and to me Electro isn't even the focus of the movie. The focus of the movie is Peter and Gwen, which it should be.
yeah.
And
That's true, but I'm saying, like, if you're going to put those other elements in, they have to mean something.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't entirely
To be a good
agree.
movie, they have to be relevant to that story.
I don't think that all of the elements, like the reason that they are relevant to the Gwen Stacy story is because those are the events that lead to, spoilers, her death.
It could have
Right?
just been the Green
Like-
Goblin.
No, it couldn't be, because what happened in the story, like the you have to look at the two stories as sort of being separate. So there's the story of what Oscorp is doing and how that is like building these villains that are going to wreak havoc through Peter Parker's life, and his choice of whether or not to engage in that world and fight those villains, and the knowledge that his connection with Gwen Stacy, the closer he is to her, the more she is in danger, and he pays the consequence for that. So the villain could be anyone. The only reason it's the Goblin is because that's like the traditional story. If the Rhino had killed Gwen Stacy, Ryan would have been kind of pissed, right? So who the villain is in the movie doesn't really matter. The villain is there on its own story. The villain could have been fucking like somebody new. It could have been goddamn Bane, who shows up and is like, I'm going to destroy the city. And then at the end, he just kills Gwen Stacy. And it doesn't matter if his story actually relates to Gwen Stacy or has any kind of like foil going on with Gwen Stacy. Gwen Stacy dies because of her relationship with Peter Parker. So I don't necessarily like, yes.
I'm saying it would be a stronger story if it did.
Yeah,
And
it
apparently
would
people
be.
would have enjoyed it more.
It would
because-
be. It would have been stronger, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong or bad now, right? Like, I just don't think that those two things have to be completely the same. Honestly, a lot of times when they are, it's even more heavy-handed. Like when your villain is always a foil for the superhero, Bane is not a foil for Batman. He's not. Honestly, Bane's not much of a villain at all. Like, he's big and dangerous, but as a foil, like, he doesn't really... In some of the fear issues, I guess he does reflect Batman, but...
You mean like the antithesis or something? Like, what's your idea of foil?
So a foil is a character. So Han Solo. Han Solo is a foil for Luke Skywalker. It's a character that is similar in some ways, but different enough that it reflects back to us the things that are special about about our hero, right? So the Joker is a foil for Batman in that he is similarly... He has some of the same ideas, but takes them to a far more chaotic place. Belloc is a foil for Indiana Jones. That's the big one, right?
So he's himself, but the extreme.
No, it's not always that. Like, sometimes a foil is an extreme. Sometimes a foil is just like different, just different enough in a certain ways that it brings out certain characteristics in our hero. Belloc is the big one. So like Belloc cares more about like
Profit.
It's not even profit. Like, he really thinks that he is closer to the artifacts than he really is. Whereas Indiana Jones is still very much a person in the modern time and isn't necessarily interested in getting power. Anyway, we've gone on a weird little bunny trail here.
I was gonna
but
say, like, I would even like concede that in The Dark Knight Rises, like, Bane could have had a stronger connection
to
as a
Batman.
villain
Yeah.
to that story.
Yeah.
Instead, he actually got neutered by having Talia
Yeah, I agree.
be the mastermind at the end. So
Yeah, and I'm not saying that, like, it's what I said last week. Like, Electro's not the best villain. He ends up not really being the main villain either. He ends up being a henchman.
yeah,
He's really just sort of cool to look at, and the action scenes are really neat. This is it's a more cartoon Spider-Man movie.
Hey, Ryan, are you still here?
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to interrupt.
It's the same thing as last week. I think I'm saying everything that Ryan would want to say to defend this movie.
It's going to, talk to Spider-Man fans because that's who they're making it for first. I think because you have to get people who love the character behind him first, behind the movie, and then everybody else can tell you how great it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's fine. I everything that Dan said in the email is that all the arguments I've already read, I've heard about it, and I don't. I mean, I would never get on somebody's case for not liking it.
Yeah.
But I think you do, in a way, you do have to make the Green Goblin the one who kills Gwen Stacy. You do have to have Spider-Man be quippy and funny, and you do have to have that redemption moment for him, because, I mean, he's responsible for the deaths of 2 people, and just and he has to find it in himself to come back because he knows that
3 people.
3. And Spider-Man is bigger than Spider-Man as a symbol is bigger than Peter Parker, and that's why. Oh yeah, I mean, as some people will not like the little kid standing up to Spider-Man, but that's not what I thought was effective and why I shed a tear at that point.
Yeah.
To me, what was effective is no, Spider-Man is a symbol of hope and courage to everybody, and by Peter not accepting that, even when all these bad things have happened to people he loves, then he's turning his back on who he really is, and that's who Spider-Man is to me. That's why it doesn't matter who's underneath the mask. It doesn't matter. Spider-Man is a symbol of hope. That was a Batman.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, thanks, Dan. Haven't heard from him in a long time. Appreciate it. Even if you don't like the movies I like because you're cold and heartless, just like Brad.
I won't apologize for my black heart.
No? We also got a comment on one of our YouTube videos.
What?
Yeah.
People are watching the
yeah.
show?
We're on YouTube?
Yeah, episode 5. Somebody left a message that said, hey, I got invited to his house. Maybe I shouldn't go either. So
We're doing
that's
good.
funny.
We're saving lives.
We're
saving
warning
lives.
people not to go hang out with Jonathan Tiersten.
just a couple of quick notes, though, too, about that stuff. May 27th, Jonathan Tiersten's classic horror film is available on Blu-ray for the first time. You can buy it from ScreamFactory.com. If you pre-order it right now, you can get an actual sweet poster for it. And also, May 27th, on demand delivery, The Beast Within, will be available for you to stream on iTunes and Amazon. You can listen to our interview with the director and writer of that film that we saw at Telluride Horror, and it'll be available to purchase on Blu-ray on May 30th. So make sure you support those guys.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Because they supported us, and we appreciate it. And when does the battery come out? It comes out soon as well, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I have to check that out.
Yeah, I'm
Also
gonna
from
have to
Scream
look that up.
Factory.
Well, that batteries are already on demand, so
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
but
get it
no,
on
they're
demand.
getting an actual Blu-ray.
yeah.
Which I've been waiting because I've owned the digital version for a while, but I want to have a physical one so I can.
And hopefully there's
covet it.
commentary or something on it. I don't know.
Oh, that'd be cool.
It's a Scream Factory.
There should be
so I'm
our
sure
interview on it.
Yeah, there should be.
Motherfuckers.
Hey, they can take our interview. That's fine.
For sure. No. I'm just saying. I
That's
wish it was on there.
hey, Scream Factory. If you're listening to this podcast and you want to take our interview with the battery people, take it.
Yeah.
Take
just,
it.
Just credit us at least.
Yeah, just credit us. I don't want any money. I just want credit. Cool. So yeah, I just wanted to give those little shout outs to people that have helped us out.
Maybe a DVD-ROM link to the website.
Yeah.
DVD ROM.
We'll put a
Blu-ray
link on
ROM,
it so you
Blu-ray
can
ROM.
click from our website to
Yeah.
to buy it directly from you guys. Hey, you know what? I'm tired of this negative Spider-Man talk. Let's talk about box office numbers.
Okay.
This is the box office stats.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2, number 1 with $91.6 million in the bag.
Which apparently is a disappointment? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I guess,
Goddamn.
and $400 million already worldwide. That's
Yeah.
When it's not like summer season, there's movies that like the number one movie is like $30 million. And it's
Yeah.
like success. But when the
I know.
Spider-Man comes
I know.
out,
I don't get it.
which I guess because it has a larger budget, like that's important. But it already made its entire budget back overseas before it came out in the U.S.
Yeah.
So
You know, I mean, their argument is that the Raimi ones and even Amazing Spider-Man did so well initially, but
you're in your fifth movie.
you're in your
for
fifth
that.
movie in 14 years and it's still opening over $90 million. I know John Carter would kill for that opening.
Yeah.
Battleship,
Yeah.
Mhm.
47 Ronin.
Name a movie that doesn't have.
I did 47 Ronin.
Oh, there we go.
What else?
Taylor Kitsch.
There's something else, like, I think,
Pacific Rim.
early this year.
Pacific Rim didn't even gross $100 million. So some movies, you know, they kill for that opening.
Yeah.
But the movie that we saw last week, Heaven is for Real, came in at number 3.
It did.
$8 million.
Heaven is for Real. That's a box office success, guys.
I
$40
saw
million. Like 52 or something.
71, actually.
Is that $71 million?
Worldwide, 69 domestically. And it only cost $12 million to make, so they
Religion must be
are
popular or
laughing
something.
all the way to the bank.
Yeah. Well, you
Christians,
know,
they turn out.
they do. They even turn out for Son of God, which is just a repackaged History Channel movie. I
Yeah.
cannot believe that one did well.
Yeah.
Even when I saw him, I said, "Is this a Creed video?" I don't know. Kept on waiting for Hire to show up.
Man.
I'm going to keep this going. Comic Book Corner.
Okay.
What's up, nerds? It's the Comics Corner.
It's
Have you-
it's totally your week, dude. Like
Yeah.
we're not going to fight on this one. Like you have
Amazing
to go.
Spider-Man #1 came out. The relaunch of Amazing Spider-Man.
What?
Yeah, I know. Finally. And hey, you know what's great about a Spider-Man book?
Does it tell
Is
the
when
origin
it's fun
of,
again?
Does it tell the origin of Spider-Man because it's issue 1?
You know, there is like a little 2-page
Is it really?
retelling. But what's really cool is Peter gets bit, and he, you know, goes, oh, and the spider falls off him, and it crawls and bites some girl on the leg.
Really?
Yeah, so they're telling a little different story.
And then and it's Gwen Stacy, and they fall in love and have spider
No.
babies, like half spider, half person babies.
Sorry, I was distracted by the Rockies
Yeah.
game. So this new Amazing Spider-Man 1 isn't a continuation of the Superior? Like,
Well, yeah,
It is. He's
It's
just saying,
a-
like, the first two, in case somebody did pick it up as an issue 1, the first 2 pages are like a
Origin
an
recap.
oh,
origin,
okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
But they have a little, you know, extra salsa on it because you see that the spider bit somebody else.
Mhm.
And what else? So yeah, the story is just Pete is back. He's trying to get acclimated to life, whatever Otto did to him. And so he's a doctor now, and he has his own company called Peter Parker Labs, and he's trying to understand what Otto exactly did, and he can't figure it out. And the story's really funny. It's good just to have Peter Parker be back and be funny.
Yeah.
He's fighting the White Rabbit, which is this goofy character with this like hot chick in this like bikini and a rabbit outfit, and has a machine gun for an umbrella. I mean, she's been around for years, but
Yeah.
she's always been, you know, like a punching bag for Pete. And he loses his costume, so he has to make web boxers, and it's really funny. And it's good to see Spider-Man back.
Yeah.
Is it a new writer from the...
No.
So that guy's... Okay.
Yeah, when he tells, I've been saying this a long time about Dan Slott, when he tells contained Spider-Man stories, he's really good.
Hmm.
He's
It's
even
his-
better when he has Christos Gage right with him, because there is a little backup story in this. There's a little throwaway thing in Superior Spider-Man where the Black Cat said, like, hey, Spider, and she just got, like, socked by Spider-Man because Otto Octavius didn't like Black Cat. And so there's a backup story where
Gay.
the Black Cat is evil, and she's going to take down Spider-Man. And so I think that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So I have a bunch of little interesting things. It's just cool to see Spider-Man back.
When he was Superior Spider-Man, Doc Ock, was he banging Mary Jane?
No. Luckily. Well, he tried to get with her. I was so disgusted with that book. He also shot some criminal in the head with a gun.
Can you imagine, like, Peter Parker being in the back of his mind, having to watch all of it, and then... No!
But the cliffhanger is Otto Octavius, Octopeter, was dating this midget named Anna Marie, and Peter comes back to their apartment they share together, and he didn't know she was there. And the cliffhanger's like, so when are you going to tell me you were Spider-Man? And
Oh, no.
and he said, how do you know I was Spider-Man? She's like, I know the freckles on your butt because he was naked on TV. So that was a cliffhanger. So it's interesting. It'll be fun. It's good to have Pete back.
Cool.
Go Spider-Man. Hey, what's coming out on Blu-ray and DVD next week?
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
So the number 1 of next week from the producers of Underworld is I, Frankenstein 3D.
Nice. If it was unrated, I might see it again. Just kidding. I will never see that movie
I
again.
was going to say, what could they have left on the cutting room floor that would be so good that makes that movie
Don't
good?
you wish that was this year's Hansel and Gretel? I
Oh,
wanted
dude,
it to be so
bad. Like, and there's a part of me that wonders, like, were my expectations for I, Frankenstein too high?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Do I need
no,
to watch it again just
no.
in case I had unrealistic expectations for I, Frankenstein?
Right. No, that's not it. Her is coming out this week, which is good because I never got a chance to see it.
Me either.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking that out. The first season of Orange is the New Black is coming onto DVD this week, which I don't. It's really weird to me that Netflix like puts out Blu-rays of their shows. I mean, it's cool.
Well, I think they
but-
do it too because if you don't have Netflix and then you buy the Blu-ray or DVD, like, oh, cool, I'm going to
That's
subscribe.
true. That is true. That's probably exactly
It
what I
doesn't
do.
cost them that much money.
Yeah, for sure. That Awkward Moment, starring Zac Efron and Miles Teller.
Hey, we saw that movie.
Yeah, we did. It was
Remember when you saw their
those
butts?
those guys are really great,
Yep.
even in that movie. Eastbound and Down season 4 is this week.
Nice.
Yes.
Candy fucking Powers.
Season,
Yep.
season 2 of Longmire. There's a movie called Stalingrad, which I believe is I think it's actually like a Russian-produced movie. I mean, obviously it's Russian, but I've seen stuff about Stalingrad for a while. But the really cool thing worth checking out is Poseidon Rex comes out this week.
Nice.
This is a T-Rex that seemingly
You know, actually,
comes
I
out of
was-
the water and eats bikini-clad women running in the ocean.
Nice. You know, actually, when we were at Tradesmart today, if you still wrote shit show reviews, there's literally a whole shelf was like Mega Croc, Mega Dinosaur,
Oh,
Mega
shit.
Shark, Mega Shark Croc.
Oh, man.
That's all I was
That's
thinking
pretty
of.
good. Oh, dude, I kind of am interested in Poseidon Rex. They fight. They according to the cover of the DVD.
And those have never misled you before.
No.
He's like, I'm
They
obligated to see
fight
her,
it.
but I really want to see Poseidon Rex.
Fuck that artsy-fartsy
They're
bullshit.
gonna fight it with helicopters with giant machine guns on the side. That's how you fight a giant. Here's the thing: this thing is way bigger than a T-Rex. This doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Well, it's
not just
from
that it's coming from
Poseidon.
the ocean.
Maybe Poseidon fucks the T-Rex.
Maybe it's like,
and-
yeah, it's Poseidon's dog.
That'd be
That
be
would be
sweet if
really
Poseidon
cool.
came out like holding a couple T-Rexes.
Yeah.
Instead of water horses or whatever it is.
Oh hell yeah, that would be really cool. I don't think it has arms either. I don't see its little like tiny little arms. This is nonsense.
They work better not having them underwater.
That maybe
More
yeah.
fish-like.
Well, maybe he's got gills.
Well, he could use his tail to swim.
That would be
I mean,
cool. Oh, dude, T-Rex probably would be more bad, like way more dangerous underwater if it had like an agile tail, like an
Well,
alligator.
no. You know, according to James Horner on the Jurassic Park Blu-ray, a T-Rex could run up to 55 miles an hour. That's pretty fast.
Wait, why were
I'm just
people
imagining
listening?
a great white shark body with a T-Rex head.
Well, no, he was talking about the movement of T-Rex because he's a paleontologist.
Oh,
He's,
yeah.
He's the consultant on
Right.
Jurassic Park.
I was thinking James Horner, the composer. I was like, why would he have anything to do with that? Anyway, so that's the DVDs.
Cool. You know what we also do, guys? We watch movies. This is what we've been watching this week.
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Oh, shit. I watched so much shit this week. Oh, yeah. And I'm just kidding. I rewatched You've Got Mail. I haven't seen it in years.
Hell yeah.
The movie's still cute.
Yeah.
I always love when Tom Hanks kind of plays the not... I don't know how to describe it.
Not
Like,
necessarily the best person.
yeah, not necessarily. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's kind of a schmuck in it.
Mhm.
But he's still, but that's like his day job. He's the schmuck. But
Yeah.
when he gets on America Online, You've Got Mail. Like the biggest product placement ever.
Yeah.
He's who he really is, and he's Parker Posey's really funny in it as his girlfriend. Greg Kinnear's funny as Meg Ryan's boyfriend because he's like the douchiest newspaper columnist. I forget his name, but he always
Oh,
writes
yeah.
like douchey newspaper reports. Yeah, the movie's fun.
Absolutely. I really love that movie.
It. I don't know. I just really enjoy it. It's, every once in a while you need to see a movie where you don't have to deal with heavy issue stuff.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
heavy
it's-
issue is these two don't like each other. One guy owns a Barnes and Noble, and she owns a little corner bookstore.
Stuff we can all relate to.
Yeah.
But it is funny too. I mean, that movie is '98, but it's already like super dated on the internet
Oh, yeah.
because it has
Oh,
a
yeah.
dial-up tone and things like that. It's great.
Yeah, if you showed that to somebody today, like a kid today, they would have no understanding of what was going on.
They're like, "What's a book?" Just kidding.
What do you mean I've got mail?
Yeah. Does American Online even exist anymore?
I think
Yeah.
they do.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe it's just a different. It's not a
It's-
provider like
They're
that.
part
Yeah.
of Yahoo, aren't they?
I think they are affiliated
Yeah.
now. I'm not sure though. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because they still run like instant messenger and that kind of stuff, but you can still have an AOL email address if you want to not get jobs.
They judge you on that.
I still have all those
Dude,
installation
yeah.
discs they sent through the mail from the 90s. First the
Yeah.
floppies, then
Oh
the
yeah,
CDs.
They used to come in the back of Wizards.
Yeah.
I for a while I was collecting some of the cool ones, so I had like the Lord of the Rings AOL disc, but I threw them out a couple of years ago because
And
that
rightly
was
so.
stupid.
'Cause
Yeah,
why?
right. Yeah, along with like the empty Mountain Dew cans that had Star Wars Episode 1 figures on the outside, or people on the outside of them. I threw those away too.
You didn't keep the Padme? Dick.
No, I had a Padme for a while. I really did.
Unless you go to eBay right now and double check.
I'd look at Padme's skirt if I had her action figure.
No. It was just her face on the outside of the Mountain Dew can.
Well,
I think
now
it
you
was
know what
Diet
I would
Pepsi.
do.
You cut a hole in the bottom of the can and
Total. I also watched Frozen again. Actually, I
Yeah.
watched it today. The Blu-ray is stunning. I mean, the one thing about Disney is all their Blu-rays look amazing.
Yeah.
For some reason, they have this. I don't know. They must spend more time restoring their movies or making sure the transfer is really good.
oh, they totally do. It's why their their Blu-rays never get cheaper. Right?
Yeah.
Like
Dude.
they're always $24.
Yeah, right. Except The Incredibles is always $37.
I know.
No matter where you go to get it.
Well, it's
It's probably in the vault.
it's a completely computer generated movie, so I don't really have to worry about film grain. So,
Well, yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying
Yeah,
in
no.
general, though.
But just the way they build their Blu-rays, like everything about it, you put in a Disney produced Blu-ray, and the actual Blu-ray experience of getting to menus and all that stuff is so much better.
They're the ones
content
who
that's on
really embrace
yeah,
the
what you
Blu-ray
can
stuff,
do with
and
it,
that's why
yeah.
they only have 2 vault releases a year. And
Yeah.
well, big ones. I mean, they always put out the
Tinkerbell's Biggest Adventure.
or something, but or like Oliver and Company will come out in the middle of their 2 big releases.
Yeah.
And they still treat it really good. Like the Great Mouse Detective
Yeah.
looks freaking amazing. And you always know how amazing it looks, because the cool thing about Disney too is they pour over all their old special features onto the Blu-rays.
Mhm.
So I was watching, the making of the Great Mouse Detective, and it looks horrible on standard definition. It looks amazing on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a fun one, and the movie is incredible. And what's really funny is the special features aren't that good. Except,
Frozen, you mean?
Yeah, on Frozen. But you click on the making of Frozen, and it's a huge musical and dance number with Josh Gad and Kristen Bell, and
Wow.
there's like, this is how we made Frozen, and they're all singing, and it goes, except we really don't know, and that's the end of it, and they all walk away. It's like this huge musical production
Huh.
that's like 5 minutes long.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the other special feature on it is, besides the Mickey Mouse short, which is really great, but is they go back to the Disney archives, how they were trying to make a ride based on the Snow Queen when Disneyland first opened.
Yeah.
And they never got around to it. That's the only other special feature on it. Weird.
It's probably because they're going to double dip, because once they make that into
Maybe.
a franchise, they're going to...
And I read an
Like-
interview with the director. They don't want to make a sequel.
Didn't they also refer to it as like one of their top franchises right now, though?
I know if you go to their
Disney
parks, they
did?
only let you buy 5 items from the movie because they're having a shortage of items.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. Yeah.
So that was great. And the last thing I watched was Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
No shit. I watched that this week.
Did you really?
I totally did. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Because I was going to bring it up as an example of really, really horrible Blu-ray experiences.
Yeah.
Because, like, the menu is just the worst.
It is, but the features are really cool on it. Did you watch
Yeah.
the features?
No, I haven't yet.
They have this cool interview with John Candy, Steve Martin. It's like a press event at an
Yeah.
airport, and John Hughes is there. It's really interesting. But the
forgot-
movie's funny.
Oh, yeah. I forgot how much swearing and, like, dirty jokes there are in that movie.
Yeah,
like,
well-
by comparison to most John Hughes movies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, there's that one part where Steve Martin. Have you ever seen the movie?
Yeah.
Where he comes back with the rental car agreement. I fucking lost it in the fucking parking
Oh, yeah.
lot. You left me fucking half a fucking mile away. It's just screwed. I think he says it 26 times or something
Yeah.
in that whole area. And it's funny because I was watching the special features with John Hughes,
You're fucked.
and he said, "Yeah, we were really worried that the MPAA would give us an X rating." And I said, "I think the Wolf of Wall Street, they say it 347
Well, that was
times."
back
Al-
in the 80s.
Yeah, also somebody, licks cocaine out of a hooker's
Yeah.
ass.
It's just so funny how
that was the one that shocked me was the jokes about about his balls when they're driving in the car together and John Candy starts talking about Steve Martin's balls.
Did you get it because the Blu-ray is $5 at Best Buy? That's why I got it.
No, I've had it for a little while. I just hadn't had a chance to watch it yet.
Yeah,
So.
so it was fun. You know, there's some surreal moments too when John Candy is driving the wrong way on the freeway.
Yeah.
And they go in between the two trucks, and Steve Martin looks over, and John Candy's the devil and laughing. And
Yeah.
it's just funny.
Yeah.
And the movie's just silly, and it would never, it's just funny.
Yeah, but it's also it's one of my favorite John Hughes just because of how genuinely heartwarming that movie is.
Yeah, and I forgot watching it too. That speech that John Candy gives him in the hotel room is repeated verbatim on Family Guy at one point. I forget
really?
the episode,
Oh.
and I forget in what context. But he's like, "Yeah, maybe I wasn't the guy I was supposed to be, but
I
that's-
like me.
But I like me." And
Yeah.
That's
My
nice.
wife likes me. Oh, that's the thing,
Yeah.
man. When you watch it, now watching it, knowing how it ends, like when he says that line, "My wife likes me," you're just like, "Fuck."
yeah,
That's a great movie. Still, Uncle Buck is still my favorite, but
I haven't seen that one in years.
I have the Blu-ray. You should see it.
I should. I'll
It's
maybe
really
I'll get. I'm
good.
sure I probably get $4 on Blu-ray.
Oh yeah.
You
no,
know,
it's cheap.
I haven't seen it in so long. The only thing I remember in that is when he's flipping the huge pancake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Oh,
why. It's the only
man.
and the song that's playing at that point.
Yeah, it's I think it's the least it's one of the ones people don't talk about the most, but I think it is the best story that he ever told. Just really great characters in that movie, and I loved. Plus, it ends and John Candy's it freeze frames on John Candy sort of waving, and it makes me.
He
sad.
died so young.
I know.
He's been dead for 20 years. Can you believe that?
No, that's horrible. That's horrible. So, I need to go work out and lose some weight, and not do cocaine.
Yeah. Yeah. Just don't wreck your body.
Yeah.
That's what I watched
You
this
sure?
week. What?
You didn't watch anything else?
What else did I watch?
Why is he? Oh, yeah. There is something you're. Even I know.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes. Okay, so Brad,
All right, I'm gonna go get something to drink, guys. Bye.
I totally forgot. Thanks, Brad. 24 came back this week.
Yeah,
Wow, I can't
24.
believe that spaced. It's maybe because we talked about it yesterday. And I
Yeah.
spaced it. But yeah, 24 came back after 4 years, I believe.
2010?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack's been on the run because at the end of the series he goes rogue because his final day went really bad.
Yep. He threatened to kill the Russian president,
Yep.
and that's a no-no, I guess. So, despite that the Russian president was doing bad things.
I know.
And yeah, so
It's
there's
half of the internet has threatened to kill the Russian president.
No. But yeah, so Jack's in hiding, and the CIA finds him in London, and he gets captured, and you find out that maybe he got captured because Chloe was actually captured as well, because he's trying to locate a certain individual.
He wanted the CIA to catch him.
He did.
Mm.
That the first hour, because it was a 2-hour premiere, it was pretty good. It was just kind of setting up the story. President Heller, who used to be the Secretary of State, I believe, correct?
Or Secretary of Defense.
Or Secretary of Defense.
Yeah.
One of those. I know he's Secretary Heller.
Yeah.
He's the president now, but he's also suffering from either Alzheimer's or dementia or
I think
something.
it's Alzheimer's is what I read.
And because he's forgetting things and...
Minor things like
Yeah.
Teddy Roosevelt, not
Exactly.
Franklin Roosevelt, said something. He misquoted him.
But it's interesting. It's an interesting arc because Tate Donovan plays his chief of staff, and it's almost like they're trying to just get him through this term. They're trying to get him through this term without anybody finding out that he's suffering from this disease. And it's interesting story. The action really picks up, and the story really starts going in the second hour, where Jack uses Chloe to locate these
Potential
terrorists.
terrorists.
They're threatened to kill the president.
Well,
Or what? I can't remember right now.
yeah, the story. It's tough to figure out what's going on. It's only been like the second hour, but there's a rogue programmer who has figured out how to commandeer
right.
military drones
And make it
use
look-
them against
That's right.
their pilots while making it look like
The pilot's the one who did it.
yeah.
Because also the kid from Attack the Block is in there, and the end of the first episode is a drone takes out a whole
Military
caravan that has British and American soldiers in it, and he didn't do it, and they think he did.
And this is in the midst of the president is in London to sign some kind of peace accord with which is weird because we're friendly with them. What are we trying to strengthen our?
I'm sure
Ties
there's
with
so many
Britain.
political things that we don't know. I'm sure it's like, this is a pipeline from
Yeah.
America to.
No, man, they're having like he flew over there, get some lobster, and hang out. They're gonna go see a show, but it's a peace accord.
But yeah, no, it was really cool seeing Jack come back. I felt Kiefer Sutherland hasn't missed a beat playing the character.
He doesn't get to say any lines till like the 45-minute mark.
Yeah, in the first episode, he doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because
But,
when he
is
does,
he in it a lot? He's just
Yeah.
never talking. That's cool.
because they trying to interrogate him, and they're trying to use torture against him, and Jack's not going to crack.
Yeah.
He was in a Russian prison. How long was he in Russia for?
2
Did they ever-
years?
2 years, yeah, 2
Yeah.
years. And then he went to China, and he was captured by the Chinese. He's not
Wait,
gonna
wait,
see
wait.
them.
No, he Russian prison.
Wasn't he captured by the Russians, and that's why he was friendly with them? In
He
the
got
first
captured by
season?
the Chinese.
Yeah, but in the first season, why do the Russians hate him again?
The very first season.
Yeah. Why do the Russians hate him?
The Russians have nothing to do with season 1.
They
It's
hate
the
him.
Drazens.
Some Russians hate him.
That's season 4 because they go to the Russian consulate and then the Chinese
that's
prime
right.
minister gets
That's right.
killed.
That's right.
But they're indifferent. It's the Chinese who hate him. And
Yeah.
they capture him.
And torture him. So, anyways, the point is Jack Bauer's not going to talk when he's tortured. But then he has some awesome Jack Bauer moments where he stabs some dude in the neck,
Hell yeah.
shoots people.
It's so weird because he's been gone for so long and then he doesn't communicate with the audience for like a good hour.
Yeah.
So you're kind of left wondering like what, and also like when he does talk, he's usually talking about how he doesn't have friends and he's a loner. It just feels like this distant character, and you're kind of left wondering like how to get back in with him.
Yeah.
Like he's doing cool stuff, which is
Mhm.
awesome. But you're kind of like wondering like what's his real motivation for what he's doing right now because he's being so secretive. So you're just kind of like you're just left wondering, and that's kind of odd because you're usually on the same page with Jack in the other.
Yeah.
Seasons.
I think that's kind of on purpose, though, because he has been gone so long that
And I think because they only have 12 episodes now,
Yeah.
so they don't have a lot of time to leave for mystery.
Mhm.
So they're probably just getting it out of the way.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll explain some more. I think, because they want Jack to be rogue. I mean, you still don't know if you can trust him or... we all know at the end he's going to save the day, but maybe. Who knows? Maybe they'll do something totally crazy.
Did you see the preview shots for like for the whole season that they showed?
Huh.
There's like stuff where he's like in the same room with Audrey and stuff.
Nice.
So I'm wondering if it's
He's fucked Audrey before, if you're wondering,
Yeah.
James.
yeah, but she's remarried now.
He's going to kill Tate Donovan, I know it.
Who I think deserves it. He's kind of a slimy.
He is.
prick.
He is a prick. Where's Audrey? Yeah.
He's already killed one of her husbands.
Yeah, he has. Yes. Don't make him do it again. When Bauer wants the pussy, he'll kill husbands for it.
Oh man.
What if Terry Bauer comes back at the end of the...
Dude, I kind of want like something that shocking, like Nina still being
Oh, that'd be
alive, or
sweet. Dude, if Nino came...
Terry wasn't dead this whole time.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
She was just in a Chinese prison.
Did the clock not make a noise when she was dead? I don't remember. I should watch the first
Well,
season
the
again.
the season ended.
Yeah.
I think it was a silent clock.
Was it? Oh, man, that's why she's so
I
alive.
don't remember. No, silent,
like
silent clock means
Almeida.
you're dead.
The sound clock...
Tick-
I thought the no sound was you're dead.
Yeah, it's silent clock, no sound.
Is you're dead.
You're dead.
So if it...
Ticking
if
clock.
means you're alive.
Yeah. And Tony Almeida's still around.
Yeah.
He's in prison
Oh,
somewhere.
that's right. Because at the end of season 7...
Yeah.
Fuck, I love 24.
Dana Walsh dead though. Probably should stay dead.
And Katie Sackhoff, her character.
Oh god.
She had nothing to do.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
out. I'm out.
No, it was awesome. Don't worry. He shot Katie Sackhoff in the face.
I'm back in.
No, wait. I'm done talking to you. Yeah. Just
I have
wasted
one more
her.
play. No, you don't.
Point blank range.
Man.
That's why we love Jack Bauer.
I kind of wish when he saw President Logan's. Oh, President Logan's not dead.
Oh, dude.
He might be a vegetable somewhere.
Oh, turkey neck.
Yeah. But it was so awesome when he donned that like paintball mask and stormed that
Hell yeah.
police or the presidential caravan.
Yep.
Kind of wish he was still like the superhero like that.
Hey, we still got 10 episodes to
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
Still
Yeah.
got 10 episodes. Yep. What else you watch, Brett?
Oh, to me?
So, yeah, you,
Okay.
should, you should see 24, guys.
I watched a bunch of stuff, mostly the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Nice.
Season 3 and season 4. This is the first time in a long time I've watched them back to back and stuff. in the last decade when I watched it a lot. Between now, I forgot which episodes were in which seasons, and watching it now, it's like 3 and 4 are just amazing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's classic episode after classic episode. I tweeted or I Facebooked. I was watching the Never Bathe on Saturday.
Oh yeah, it's a great episode.
Yeah, where Laura gets her toe stuck in the faucet in the hotel that they're staying at.
Oh yeah.
And they have to play, which is great, like an interestingly staged episode where Mary Tyler Moore has to act the entire episode in just her voice, because the rest of the time you're just seeing Rob in this one room with different characters coming in and out. And when it goes to commercial and comes back and you're finally in the bathroom where she's stuck in the tub, and then the engineer comes to saw off the faucet, I was like, God, that guy reminds me of somebody. Who is it? And I was like, it's kind of like Toodles from Hook. And so I looked it up, and sure enough, and it's interesting because the actor is like 30 years old.
Yeah.
And the character is saying that he's like, I'm 75 years old. So he's like a 40-year-old difference. Yeah, so it's like funny. He's like super young, but he looks really old.
Yeah.
And then, he just died last year. So.
Oh shoot.
But he had like a pretty extensive IMDb page, so he's been doing a lot of stuff other than being Toodles and Hook. So, kudos on him. But yeah, just having tons of fun watching that again. And I don't have the Blu-ray set, so I'm still watching like the Netflix streamed low-res things.
Yeah.
Horrible.
The Blu-rays are like $75 right now, so
You should get them.
if I didn't just buy a jib crane, I might, and I have to pay for DVDs and T-shirts. So, and then the other thing I watched something else, but I can't remember what it is. But the other thing I watched was 4 Rooms.
Oh yeah,
Which
yeah.
is the-
Have you never seen it before?
I'd never seen it before. It's
Oh,
an
dude.
anthology.
Tarantino, Rodriguez. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
Tarantino,
rooms did you
Robert
actually
Rodriguez.
enjoy?
Only the last one.
Uh huh.
The other 3
That
were.
sounds about right.
I guess the Rodriguez is my second favorite, but
Yep. The first
Also-
one's horrible.
Yeah.
I don't even remember who does that one, but the one with the witches.
yeah, that was just
And,
like, what's the point of this?
Yeah, Madonna.
Obviously, it's probably just some stupid fantasy, but it just wasn't entertaining. It's not shot interestingly.
Yeah.
And then
Who does the one with the because
the kids?
Rodriguez is the
Rodriguez.
kids with the dead body in the bed,
Yeah,
and then who does the other one?
I don't remember the name for that one,
'cause
but it's the
that's
one
the-
where the husband has his wife tied up.
Yeah, in a chair. Yeah,
Um,
and it's too bad because I really like Tim Roth's character.
do you? I thought he was
I
all
mean,
over the map.
Yeah, I guess.
Like in the opening, you think he's like this submissive, like, oh, I'm starting this new job, but then
Yeah,
after the titles, he's
It's either Allison Anders or Alexander Rockwell.
oh,
I don't know which
Yeah,
one directed
it's
which.
probably
yeah,
that one.
they're the ones whose
Um,
sections were shitty and never had careers.
I don't know. He just like he seemed like so cartoonish and over the top.
Yeah, no, he totally is. But I guess I liked the premise of what that should have been, where he starts off being submissive, and by the end, like, when he takes that finger off and just like grabs money and walks out of the room, like,
Well, that's
like
cool.
that
'Cause
arc
that's
is cool.
Tarantino's.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that one story I think is no, it's not worth seeing the whole thing because you could just watch that one.
Yeah, I would
but
prefer
that
the
story
movie just
is
be that.
Yeah, that story is worth watching.
Yeah, and it's directed and shot so like interestingly. Like
Yeah.
there's entire. It's almost like it feels like it's 4 shots entirely, and then
Mhm.
everyone's playing these long extended sequences of just acting.
Yeah.
Especially even to the end in the credits, like when the guy's like running out with his finger, and like Bruce Willis is like carrying him and stuff. Like
Yeah.
the movie's over, and they're still acting out this one scene. And the camera's just focused on the hallway.
Yeah.
So this is impressive.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like after this whole big speech that Tarantino's character gives, and then he just chops off that finger and like runs with the way. I'm like, I was expecting to like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like with the lighter, and just like
Right.
it flickers on the first one. It's like awesome.
It's so good.
So
Yeah. Yeah, it's too bad because that movie, like the premise for that movie, is really cool.
yeah,
But it just doesn't.
people were
deliver.
saying, because I had this idea for this movie about a gold. I probably shouldn't even talk about this.
No, go ahead.
So I had this idea for a movie about this because
You're afraid someone's going to steal your idea?
huh?
You're You afraid someone's going to steal your idea?
No, I'm just wondering if I'm going to end up explaining it way too long. Because
Well, give us the short version.
as I started talking about it, I was like, oh, I got to explain this other part of it. So when we were looking for locations for Jean-Claude Van Damme, we were looking at hotels. And one of the hotels I looked at said that it's one of these fancy ones, so if you rent a room, you get a complimentary goldfish.
What?
Yes. So, but you have to ask for it.
Holy
But,
shit!
Yeah, you can have a companion goldfish for your stay.
That's
And
so
so I was like,
weird.
so
do you
this-
get to take the goldfish with you? Like if you become attached?
I don't know. I didn't rent the room.
Oh my god!
But that just made me think. So there's a closet at this hotel full of goldfish
yeah,
in either little bags or bowls.
and probably
Right?
somebody whose job it is to feed them.
Someone's job is to feed them. Someone's job to replenish them.
Uh huh.
And so I was thinking, well,
Flush them
what
out.
happens if no one knows about this complimentary goldfish? So they have no reason to stock a bunch of them until finally they get caught. Someone asks for a goldfish and they don't have any, so they got to send some minimum wage lobby boy
To
to
go
run
get
across to
goldfish.
PetSmart and get a goldfish, and then they could. So anyway, the movie would be based on this goldfish that gets sent around to all these different rooms, and you watch those stories unfold through the goldfish's eyes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, so that was.
Oh yeah. So it could be like 4 rooms, and you just like the goldfish moves in.
Yeah,
and
and so
like,
people are
you're-
saying
yeah,
like that
that's
sounds like
cool.
4 rooms, but I'm like, my idea sounds better than 4 rooms after watching 4 rooms, except for the
Well, it depends
Tarantino
on what the
part.
rooms are. Like that's the thing. Like
Yeah, you have to have
yeah,
more
the
interesting stories
rooms
in
all
those
have to be.
rooms.
Yeah, that's the lobby boy is not
Copyright
what's
right
wrong
there.
with 4 rooms. What's wrong with 4 rooms is Madonna and that shitty story about
She's
the
what's wrong
wife.
with Dick Tracy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the boobs were great. Thanks.
Yeah. Great.
She shows her boobs in that movie?
No, not Madonna. The
Yeah,
other 2
all
girls.
the
I was
other,
gonna say,
yeah,
I don't
the
know.
other,
Two
the other
witches.
witches
I haven't
do.
seen that movie in so long.
Yeah, like just 2 of them arbitrarily. Like, and there's the other ones. It's like totally unnecessary. Although I'm
Oh.
grateful, thank you. But
Oh.
if they're not all going to do it as which characters, I just don't see the point.
Yeah, if you're not going to be committed to, well, we'll talk about unnecessary nudity later.
There is no such thing.
And Madonna doesn't, which is like, didn't she
She's
in
Madonna.
her own music videos?
She only does it when she's making a book about sex.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, 4 rooms, only worth seeing the last
No, totally.
10 minutes or something.
I think it's worth like.
So get the Blu-ray and skip to that chapter.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, like, I think it's worth buying the Blu-ray for that chapter,
Yeah, it's really good.
but only watch that one.
That's it for me,
Cool.
I think.
Jay?
I watched a couple things. I rewatched a whole lot of stuff because I'm getting ready to move. So I'm like, I rewatched How to Train Your Dragon, and I rewatched Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, and a bunch of different things. But the 2 things that I checked off this week were, well, we'll start with the fun one. So I watched Return of the Living Dead this week.
Nice.
Because I got the Blu-ray and checked it off of my list of shame.
What'd you think?
It's really fun. Like,
is. It's a fun
that
movie.
is like kooky as hell.
It is.
It is not. So I bought it at the same time that I bought Night of the Living Dead, and of course, like one of them is a very serious zombie movie, and
Yeah.
the other one is like. There's this woman who just gets naked and
Yeah.
is naked, fully naked, well, except for her leg warmers because it's the
Yep.
80s, for the rest of the
Yep.
movie.
Yep, even when
it's
she's a zombie.
Ridiculous. Yeah, right. Yeah, and then she's like running around just naked, biting people and eating their brains.
See, that's necessary nudity.
But yeah, no, that movie's really fun. Like, it's weird. It's definitely weird.
you should listen to the commentary with Dan O'Bannon. It's good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
I'll have to.
you should.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited. I want to talk to Paul Salmon about it again now. Like having actually seen that one. But yeah, it's fun. Some of the, especially like the performances of the 2 guys who end up who start the whole thing and open that
Yeah.
container. Like their performances aren't very good. But they're not very good in just the right way where it's
Yeah.
actually kind of fun. Like,
Yeah.
especially the older guy who's
Yeah.
like supposed to just be like stressed out the whole time and, but he's not a very good actor, to be completely honest. Or at least in that role, he's not. I think it's worth seeing. And the animatronics are actually really
No, the special
good.
effects are pretty cool.
Yeah. Like there's a couple times where it's like meh, but like especially the dark, zombie that comes out of
Oh,
the
the
thing in
Tar Man? He's
basin.
awesome.
Yeah, whatever that guy
Yeah.
is.
It's called Tar Man.
Oh, okay, cool.
Brains.
He's really cool.
More brains.
And at the opening sequence with the credits where like he's sort of born, right? And like that whole thing, like the effects in that are really good.
Yeah,
it was creepy.
The only one that I think's like hokey in it is when the skeleton comes out of the ground.
Oh,
and he's
totally.
Like
Yeah.
pure white skeleton.
Oh yeah.
Like, wait, how's that reanimated?
Yeah. And it's like a kind of cool take on zombies, as
Yeah.
far as like, because you can't just destroy.
You can't kill
you
'em.
can't kill them really at all.
Yeah.
And then if you burn them up, they just spread more. Like
Yeah.
it's pretty impressive.
It's interesting.
I think you could use that idea as in a real zombie movie. Which maybe it's unfair to call this say that this isn't a real zombie movie, but you know what I mean. Like,
It's definitely the first zombie funny movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the story behind it is John Russo wanted to make Return of the Living Dead, and he actually wrote a book which I own called Return of the Living Dead, and that book is really dark and really sad, where people have learned to deal with zombies, and so the opening chapter in the book is they go to this funeral with this kid. And the final couple pages is how they all take railroad spikes to the dead and they stick it in their head and hit them into their head so they don't come back. And so, and a bus crashes outside of town and nobody notices it crashing, and then all the zombies come back. So it's a really interesting take on it. And MGM owned the right to The Living Dead, and that's why Romero started doing Day of the Dead and not Living Dead. It's a really weird legal thing, and Dan O'Bannon read Russo's script. He's like, I'm going to make it fun, and so he just changed everything about it and just made it goofy, which is funny because Dan O'Bannon wrote Alien and so he's able to stretch his comedic muscles, I guess.
Yeah, it's weird because he could have made an amazing
I think he
zombie
could have,
movie,
too.
but chose to make something that was almost slapsticky in a lot of ways.
It's fun.
But yeah, no, it's good. So weirdly over the top.
It is. You should watch that documentary you got me.
I will.
More Brains. It's
It's
interesting.
I'll have to check that out. So then the other one that I checked off this week was In the Heat of the Night with Sidney Poitier.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, dude. Okay, well then I need to bring it to you because it's really good. So basically, Sidney Poitier plays what's his name? Not Terrence Tibbs. Anyway, Mr. Tibbs, right? And he's a I'll back up a little bit. It starts with this long, pretty silent sequence where this cop is driving through this small Mississippi town, doing his rounds in the middle of the night, and he comes across this body, and we find out it's actually kind of charming. The next scene in the morning, they just get some local kid who's a photographer to take the crime scene photos. It's the exact opposite of CSI, and it sort of shows you okay, this is a small town that doesn't really know how to deal with a murder. And the person who was murdered is this rich sort of engineer, CEO kind of guy. They don't really make it clear what he was going to do, but he and his wife had moved to town along with a bunch of engineers who were going to build this factory that was going to make the town really rich. But sort of the politics that start to come out of that is that if they build this factory, they're going to need a lot more workers, and a lot more black people are going to move into the town in order to fill those jobs in Mississippi. And so there's this sort of underlining racism going on, and this theory that is why he was murdered. At the same time, Mr. Tibbs is waiting for a train, and when they go out, because of course the sheriff who his first thought is probably some hobos came through town and killed this guy. The cops go out trying to look for
With their
somebody.
stick and handkerchief tied over their shoulder.
Yeah.
It's called a bindle.
So the one deputy goes and runs into Mr. Tibbs at the police station or at the train station. Just sees some black guy he's never met before and arrests him. And when he takes him back to the sheriff, Mr. Tibbs reveals that he is a detective from, I believe, Philadelphia or Boston, and he is on he's their special homicide detective, right? Conveniently, and the local sheriff calls the Mr. Tibbs boss, and while they're on the phone, Mr. Tibbs' boss tells Mr. Tibbs look, this town clearly doesn't know how to handle a homicide. You need to stick around and help these people. And Tibbs is fuck no. These guys are racist assholes. I don't want to help these people. And so the rest of the movie is not even really about the mystery. I mean, it is. They solve the murder mystery, spoilers. But it's really about how Tibbs and this sheriff who sort of navigate their relationship in some ways, because the sheriff is not even necessarily a complete racist. Like, he's got some racist tendencies to him, but he also has sort of this power mentality where he doesn't like having this other guy there trying to solve this stuff for him, and you know, Tibbs is trying to find the truth, and of course he's more concerned with the truth than sort of the politics of the town and all that stuff. But at the same time, like, even Tibbs is lured into some of the sort of racist thoughts and issues in some really interesting ways that I don't want to reveal too much. It's a really awesome movie. Sidney Poitier is amazing. Like, he's really a badass.
Didn't
Oh yeah, he did. And like, Tibbs is an absolute badass in this movie. He's really cool. And the mystery itself is a really good one. Like, it's one where you get all the players about halfway through, and you could theoretically put together who the killer really is, but so it's kind of neat to see them actually solve it, or see him actually solve it. So totally worth checking out. Again, probably this is definitely one of my favorites that I've got a chance to go back and see.
Nice.
Because this is a movie that is really fun and that I would watch over and over again. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, you should check out In the Heat of the Night, because it's really cool.
It sounds dirty, but it's not.
No, because the guy was murdered. Also, it's got like that Ray Charles song plays often throughout the movie, so I think that's why they called it that, probably. But it's cool.
Nice.
That's everything from this week.
So I remembered the thing I was forgetting.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I watched Wrong Cops.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Didn't you watch that like a week ago and like fell asleep halfway through?
Did I say that last week?
Yeah. I think you talked about it on the show. But anyway, so you rewatched it and.
Yeah. Apparently I forgot I did that.
But did you finish it this time?
I did.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
I already talked about this.
Well, but you haven't talked about having finished it. When we last talked about it, you had like watched it and fallen asleep, so we couldn't really count it. So did you watch it? Was it?
Yeah, I watched
Did you
all the way
stay
through.
awake?
Yeah, but it didn't help anything. I like Rubber. I like Wrong. And this was just... It was very similar, but also like what was going on wasn't very interesting.
Shoot.
So it's just these cops, and they're just doing... Like, one's dealing drugs, and then one's trying to get... The Eric Warheim cop is just trying to get this chick to show him her boobs. Like, there's this long sequence where it's just like, you're going to show me your breasts, and I'm going to shoot you in the face. She's like, I don't think you can do that. Look, if you don't show me your breasts, I'm going to shoot you in the face. This is a real fucking gun. It just goes on and on like that forever. And then this one guy is like, I think he was shot by the drug dealer cop, and so he blackmails some guy into like carrying him, like driving him around town, but he just won't die or something.
Yeah.
Just all this random stuff, and I don't know. I was working on stuff at the time, but I still watched all the way through. So maybe I should just pay attention to it entirely because it's so disjointed and bizarre. But yeah, Wrong Cops, hit or miss.
make up your own mind on Wrong Cops.
Yeah,
because Brad can't make it up for you.
like, there's no characters to like.
Yeah.
Like in Wrong,
Yeah.
the guy is trying to find his dog. That's kind of like you can kind of identify with that, and even the dog psychic.
Yeah, he's Shredder.
He's interesting enough. Like, he's so bizarre that you're like, oh, it's interesting.
Yeah.
And then in Rubber, there's the whole commentary on movies and things
Yeah.
and general weirdness. But Wrong Cops is just like, wow, this is just a bunch of like over the top offensiveness, which
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with. It just wasn't. It's like in movie 43. You'd think Hugh Jackman with balls on his chin would be like the best thing ever, but you actually watch the movie and you're like, ugh. This isn't funny at all.
That's pretty good.
Real news.
It's real news.
All right, so this week in real news, we're just going to play a game because I don't think there was really any news except for a lot of the same thing. So this game is going to be called Renewed, Canceled, Who Gives a Shit, or Yeah.
Can all my answers be who gives a shit, and I'll just take a break?
Sure. All right. So I'm going to name a TV show And you're going to tell me if it was renewed, canceled, who gives a shit, or yeah! Community.
Aww.
Canceled, only because I know that.
Yeah. That is correct. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Renewed.
Renewed, absolutely, yeah. Which is good. It could have been, a couple weeks ago, it could have been who gives a shit. But everything having to do with, like just before and since
Post-Shield.
Winter Soldier has been really cool. Revolution?
I think it's canceled.
It
It's
was,
like, who
yeah,
gives
it
a
was
shit?
canceled. It was canceled. Dracula.
Who
There was
gives
a Dracula
shit?
show?
Who gives a shit is the correct answer. Thank you.
Wait, I know. I was like, wait a minute. There is a Jonathan Rhys Meyers. I think was in that.
Yeah. Play It Again, Dick.
What the fuck is that? Who
Play It
gives a
Again,
Sounds like a
Dick.
porno.
It's Play It Again, Dick is the soon-to-be spin-off show from Veronica Mars that is centered around the character of Dick and co-written by Rob Thomas.
Okay, I'd see
So
that.
unfortunately, the correct answer was yeah, but nice try. Orange is the New Black,
That's definitely renewed.
definitely renewed. Hannibal,
Renewed.
renewed, which is really great because that means that for once that guy gets a show that
Well,
has more than
He
two
gets the
seasons.
third season of a show.
Well, I
Yeah.
was reading that NBC doesn't care because it's all financed overseas, so whatever.
Yeah. It's actually really cheap to produce that show, which I read that recently and then started realizing that, like, yeah, every scene takes place in a room, and it's like
Yeah.
the same rooms they've been using for 2 seasons. Triumph the Insult Comic Dog.
Had a show?
He's getting one, but who gives a shit? The
For me to
Gold.
poop on.
That's like 10 years too late.
I know. The Goldbergs.
Canceled?
Technically renewed, but still, who gives a shit? And Constantine.
Wait, that's a new
It's
show.
a new
yeah.
show, which
So
did
it's-
get picked up. So yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Didn't get picked up?
No, it did get picked
Oh,
up.
okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that's TV shows.
You didn't mention Agent Carter getting picked up?
Yeah, Agent Carter.
oh,
You
yeah,
see
that's right.
The
That's
logo
right.
for it's badass.
Yeah, that's right. Agent Carter got picked up too. I really only wanted to talk about Play It Again, Dick. So, yeah,
That's it for news?
that's it. Well, unless you want to talk about the fact that Spring Breakers is getting a sequel and it's called The Second Coming.
Is
No.
it spelled Cuming? Because then I'd
No.
be excited.
You didn't see clearly. You didn't see Spring Breakers because even that wouldn't make me excited.
I want to talk about the only awesome show that got picked up called Gotham.
Yeah, right?
Oh, that was already picked up. I mean, they've been producing that for a while.
They've been producing the pilot, but it got officially set to series.
Oh,
they're
really?
gonna
I
get
thought
given,
it-
and
I
given
thought
a
it-
trailer. Like,
Yeah.
Crazy fast.
Yeah, I thought
trailer
it had already been
premiered
picked
during
up.
24, and I was watching the commercials of 24. I'm just like, oh, here comes another police procedural. Fuck. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, like, you see the boy and his 2 parents get shot. And like, I know what this is.
Oh, shit.
Here it comes.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty cool. I'm excited.
It does.
Before I was like, it's going to be like Arrow or Smallville or something. But no, it looks pretty, it's like on par with, those premium, like Breaking Bad.
Yeah, you know they're going to put money behind
Game
it,
of
so.
Thrones. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. And to be fair, even the first season of Smallville was good, and I don't like Superman.
I'm just talking like production value wise.
Totally. Yeah. It looks good.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with the early years.
Yeah.
Because they're saying, like, on Entertainment Weekly, the producer or something was saying that by the end of the show, Batman's going to don the mask. If they get, 7 seasons or something.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, even as a kid, he has to go away for 10 years to train as League of Shadows and then come back to Gotham. So it can't really do that.
Well, they can tell a story that doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, I guess they
require
could tell
that.
their own
Like,
thing.
Yeah. The thing that worries me more about it is the fact that they have the villains in the show, and I'm not sure, like, is Gordon going to be fighting like the Riddler?
Yeah,
Is
I
that-
take it.
I mean, it worries me. I'm not saying they couldn't do it. It just is the part of it that seems more CW-ish in the way that they're telling the story.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be, like, fighting anyone.
I don't mean like punching, fighting, but
He'll be
like
investigating, and I think it's more like, I think we talked about this on, like, when we were talking about making a Batman TV series, where the whole series spirals off, like, the murder of the Waynes isn't just a random killing by Joe Chill.
right.
It's a planned killing by, like, Gotham's top, like, families
Uh-huh.
in a power struggle or something. And so Gordon's going to start from the bottom and work his way up through, I guess the next 7 years,
Yeah,
getting to. So I hope, like, Rupert Thorne's in it and stuff.
Yeah.
That come along.
that would be cool.
And then, like, halfway through, they'll introduce the Joker. as whatever iteration the Joker is before he's the Joker.
Yeah, but how do you fight the Joker with that Batman? Well, if it's before the Joker, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
He just creates chaos. He probably will do stuff though, like he'll be hired by those families to throw Gordon off. I just hope Gordon has the mustache by like season 3 or something, because he doesn't seem like Gordon right now. But.
Yeah, that's the whole. It's really just the origin story of his mustache.
And there's a shot of the Penguin like falling into like the water next to a pier. So I wonder if they might kill him or something.
Well, or maybe like he falls in the water, and then a bunch of penguins like pull
With
him
mind
out.
control.
Yeah, they pull him
Oh,
out of the
yes.
water, and then they like peck at him until he becomes the penguin.
That'd be sweet.
So I can see them doing that to the Penguin character, killing him off early in like a revisionist history.
Or like he
But I
drives.
hope not.
He gets knocked in, and then the water gets struck by lightning, and he becomes the penguin.
Or the bullet that hit him in the face like disfigures him to where he's like this weird like
Yeah.
almost man penguin where he has to wear like this weird skin mask that makes him look more penguin like.
It ruins one of his eyes, so he has to get like a
The
robotic
monocle?
monocle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it really is
And
sounding
a top
like,
hat to cover like his exposed brain.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Cool. So we saw 2 movies this week.
We did.
I'm going to flip them. The second movie we actually saw was a movie called Blue Ruin, which is a Draft House film, correct? Is it a Draft House
I
film?
don't think it's a
It's
draft,
a Draft House
film.
recommends.
Gotcha.
Yeah. They
And
did
it was
do
recommended to us by Karen, the manager of Alamo Denver. She hadn't had a chance to see it, but she wanted us to see it so we could tell her if she should see it or not. And James, should people go see Blue Ruin?
I definitely think it's worth checking out. You've got to be in for a very indie, dark revenge film. But I think the way that they tell the story, especially for the first half, and just the story in general that they're telling, is really cool. It's a slow burn, but I like the way they're telling that story.
Brad?
Yeah, I think it's worth seeing. I don't know if I would see it again.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a well-crafted... Like, if you want to see an exercise in projecting real suspense in a movie...
For
like,
sure.
Making you sit there, like, wondering, what's going to happen next? Because really, throughout the whole movie, I was like, where is this going to go?
Mm-hmm.
There's all these kind of twists and turns that throw you off. I think it's worth a watch.
And a project in, like, telling a story without a character talking for
Yeah.
the movie. But...
Yeah, it's an interesting movie. I think you should check it out. I don't know. Again, I don't know if I'd see it again.
Yeah.
Because I think I saw everything I needed to see in it.
It's very methodical and shows
Yeah.
you a lot of the detail.
I'm not sure it's a movie that most people are going to like love or walk away from with something, but I think it's impressive. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. Here's a trailer for Blue Ruin. I hope we can find it. I'm sure it's on the APK website. I don't know.
I apologize for the mystery. I don't mean to scare you. You're not in any trouble. I just thought you should be somewhere safe when you found out. With somebody. He's going to be released. I don't know how much they are missed. It's an awful thing he did to them.
One, two.
If it were my family, I might do the same. I know this is personal. That's how you'll fail.
I'd forgive you if you were crazy. But you're not. You're weak.
Hello. It's me. By my count, that's 2 of yours and 2 of mine. I don't know how this ends.
That's how this works, man. The one with the gun gets to tell the truth.
Yeah, I think we actually had probably the benefit of not having seen the trailer because, like you said, Brad, I never knew where it was going, and there were a couple times where I realized like I have no idea what's going to happen. Like after the first time he kills somebody, I was like, well, shit, is that the move? Like, okay, now what? And having not seen a trailer was actually kind of nice. So.
Yeah, because we totally went into it just cold.
Totally.
I was driving to the Alamo, and James called me and said, hey, do you want to see a movie at 9:45? Karen will get us tickets. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll see it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean...
the title doesn't tell you anything.
Yeah. I'm still not entirely sure what the title means.
The movie is this guy's been living as a drifter ever since his parents were murdered. Of course, you don't find this out till about 45 minutes into the movie. But
because he doesn't talk for 45 minutes.
But then he's conveniently told by a cop that the person who murdered his parents is getting out of jail. And all of a sudden he gets into like this mode where he's...
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
he's dedicated.
He's been planning this. He's been planning this day forever where he's going to go kill this guy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it takes a really weird turn. And I mean, he doesn't say anything. What's the first thing he even says? Is it when that little boy gets out of the boy gets out of the
boy gets out of the van and the boy's
no, it's in the thrift store. He's like, do you have any stamps? I think it's the first thing he
that's
ever
right.
said.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Use his stamps.
So anyways, he drives to Virginia and he stabs that dude in the side of the head.
Yeah.
With a knife.
And that's like what, 20 minutes, 25 minutes into the movie?
And then the rest of the movie is kind of you learn that maybe what he thought isn't true. And
he's got to deal with the repercussions of that.
The repercussions. He meets his estranged sister, and his sister isn't upset that he killed this guy, but
It's really...
It was a sister?
Yeah.
I thought it was like his ex-wife or something.
No, it's his sister. And it's really cool the way that they do that because since he doesn't talk, and they actually, I at least for me, they did a really good job of like getting me invested in that character even without him talking. Like, you know, just seeing, seeing at first the way he lives and then how, you know, when that switch gets flipped, how dedicated he is to the idea of trying to kill this guy. You kind of get on his side and you kind of like him a little bit, or you at least know who he is. But then the fact that, so he stabs that dude in the head and you're like, man, he pretty much got away with it. And things get a little bit messy, but then they start revealing to you that he's not, because you assume like, well, he's gotten away with it because he's just some like homeless guy. Like nobody's going to be able to figure out who he is. But they're just the right things kind of go wrong for that revenge story to just get messier and messier and messier. And I don't mean just because he keeps failing or anything like that. It's just that the sort of story they're telling is that revenge like that is messy. Because even the motivation, even him doing it to begin with, is motivated by someone else's revenge. So yeah, I think it's cool.
It is cool. It does suffer a little bit. I think sometimes the dialogue isn't very sharp. I won't say what scene. It's towards the end, and I think the pace sometimes suffers in it.
Are you talking about the big scene at the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
The pace is a little goofy at points, but I mean overall for an independent revenge movie, I thought is a pretty well made movie. And you know, I like the lead actor. I think they cast the right guy where he's really unassuming, and you realize that he's ill-equipped for this kind of thinking and revenge.
Because he is like, I don't want to say he's sort of badass at the beginning, but like he's able to pull that stuff off, and so
because he has the motivation for it.
Yeah, well, and I think that we're just trained as moviegoers to assume that like he's going to outsmart these people, and like the things he does, we sort of assume that he's being successful because he's outsmarting them. But then like what the other characters start saying to him and what he starts learning, you start realizing like, no, he's like, his sister straight up says like, you're just weak. Like you're not, it's not even that like you did anything wrong. It's just that you're weak. And then as he learns other stuff about what really happened, you realize like he's also just not right all the time. No. Yeah, it just sort of gets muddied in some really interesting ways.
Yeah. I don't know what to say about Blue Ruin.
Yeah, I don't want to like...
Well, it's really quiet, and there's really not much to say.
Yeah. It's engrossing the whole time, though.
It is.
Like, even when... Because it is so methodically paced, even when it's quiet for a really long time, I never was, like, bored. And I don't think any of the beats as far as like what happens or what goes wrong or anything like that, they never feel unnatural or forced to me. I mean, you could argue that like him stabbing the tire is a little bit like, why did he do that? Well, I don't know. He did it because he was pissed.
Yeah.
And it seemed like a good idea at the time, and then like everything really gets fucked up because of that. But yeah, no, I really liked it. I did.
Yeah.
How about when the guy got his face shot off?
Oh, dude. Yeah.
But see, I kind of
Awesome.
knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
didn't see it coming.
no. I mean, not that way, but I had a feeling his buddy would come to the rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was cool.
Yeah. Thanks, Aaron. Appreciate it.
Hmm?
So if you see it, check it out. Blue Ruin in your local theater. We also saw Neighbors starring Seth Rogen and Zac Efron. Brad, should people go see Neighbors?
Yes, I guess. Yeah, it was funny when I watched it. It was funny at the time. I don't know if I like I need to go right and see it again type thing, but it was funny when I saw it.
James, should people go see Neighbors?
Yeah, I think it's really funny. I actually do kind of agree with you, Brad. Like, it's a movie that I think is really funny, but wouldn't necessarily be funny 5 times. But I think it's a movie I'll probably buy at some point because I think it's good. But it's not like it doesn't have that sort of lasting comedy sense that I get out of like a incredible Burt Wonderstone, where I want to watch that movie like just because the performances are so good.
Yeah.
But it's totally a fun. It's a fun movie with a lot of really, really, really funny moments in it. It's, I think, honestly, really smart. Zac Efron's character is really good. So, yeah, I definitely think people should at least check it out.
Yeah, I think you should go see it. It's funny. I laughed.
Yeah.
I had a good time
I laughed a
watching
lot.
the movie. I'm a big fan of Dave Franco. For some reason, he's really good at playing a douchebag.
Well, he's not a douchebag in this movie. He's actually
He's definitely still got some douchebag to him.
Yeah. But here's the trailer for Neighbors.
Oh God, it's happening. Woo! This is so spontaneous. This is crazy. I've never had sex in a dining room chair my whole life. Oh yeah.
Baby.
She's staring at us.
She can't see anything. She just sees shapes.
She sees shapes fucking each other. I gotta turn her around. We're back in business. Oh yeah. She keeps looking. Turn around. Look, new neighbors.
Is that a fraternity? Look at that guy.
Looks like something a gay guy designed in a laboratory.
We have to go over there. We've got to be cool.
And we say, by the way, keep it down.
Well, we won't say it like that. Like, keep it down.
Let me know. Welcome to the
Yeah,
hood.
welcome.
Also, if you could maybe just
Keep it down.
That's your chick.
If we're too noisy, call me first. Don't call the cops.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll go tell them to.
Yeah.
Call the cops. Do it anonymously.
Oh shit! He sold us out.
You called about your neighbors?
No.
We have call ID. We're cops. Everybody has call ID.
You guys just woke a sleeping giant. Welcome to the darkness, bitches.
Little dramatic.
We're throwing a Robert De Niro party.
You called the cops, you violated the circle of trust, fucker.
Who are you?
I'm Sam Jackson from Jackie Brown.
Hoorah!
That's actually Al Pacino.
The path of the righteous man.
That's the wrong Sam Jackson speech. Fuck you, Sam Jackson. If you want some, come get some. 'Cause where I'm from, so pick 'em. Great. That's really funny, guys. I'm pissed off.
Bravo.
We can fucking beat them. Ew! So immature! Who has that been inside? I have a darkness inside of me, and you will see it!
We're just getting started.
So I was telling my wife, my favorite, and I was telling you guys, my favorite line in the whole movie is the Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne come to their house, and they close the door like, oh, we should invite them in. And Dave Franco says, I don't know, man, they're old. I mean, their baby's cool, but just a stupid line. And, you know, I mean, the movie is the trailer says it all. These frat guys move next door to this couple that just had a baby, and they try to one-up each other. That's like the premise of the movie.
Yeah.
Who is Seth Rogen's friend? I don't think I've ever seen him in anything before.
Isn't he in Sunny in Philadelphia?
Is he?
Isn't he like the
army guy?
No, the one who's the other family or something that used to
the McPoyles?
No, not the McPoyles. The other. God damn it! I just haven't watched that in a while.
I don't know. He doesn't look good. He's pretty funny in it, though.
There's like this.
He's good.
Like these douchebags from school or something that he's like a total bro character.
I don't remember.
What's his name?
I can't remember that episode well enough to. If you're talking about the high school reunion, I can't remember well enough.
Forget it.
But
I think he might be an undeclared though. I know the girl is, but his ex-wife is. But anyway,
what's funny is you see a lot of Seth Rogen ass in this.
Yeah, you do.
I always think it's funny in movies where there's naked women, but it's not really focused on them. But there's lots of dude ass in it.
Yeah,
and I think it's on purpose. Anyways, it's just them like trying to one up each other. Christopher Mintz-Plasse in it, but he really doesn't do anything. You just know he has a big wiener.
Yeah.
There's one part where it's wrapped around that dude's wife's neck, like really quick.
Her new choker.
Yeah, her new choker. It's like really a quick shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really funny. Rose Byrne's really good in it.
Absolutely.
It's kind of fun. I like seeing female characters not pigeonholed in just here being.
Oh yeah, she's kind of a badass in that movie. Like her ideas of how they can fight her, and like that whole scene where she like orchestrates the friend having sex with the other guy's girlfriend.
They have
like
dance off, and
it's pretty cool. I especially love like when she has succeeded and those two are making out, and like she's just doing that like walk towards the camera.
Like the hero slow motion walk.
It's so cool.
And even,
she's great.
So Dave Franco's character sleeps with Zac Efron's girlfriend, and then he doesn't know if he's mad. So the next day at the career fair, they have this bros before hoes, like constantly rhyming stuff, and then they're okay. And then they have this huge dramatic like argument, and Dave Franco says, "We rhymed. We rhymed."
Do you really think that rhyming would make me feel better? Yeah.
But the movie too would waver on slapsticky and just funny stuff. I mean, the part where they sneak into the house and they're trying to get to turn the party back on, and Dave Franco notices that the table's shaking, and Rose Byrne throws a bottle. He's like, "What's that?" Scooby ass fuck ass juice. Let's go investigate.
There's someone there's an actor on IMDb who's credited as ass juice now.
Yeah.
But it's just weird stuff like that. I mean, the movie is really funny.
Yeah. And then like the scene, the whole fight sequence in the
fight sequence is brilliant.
Upstairs is so good. When he like jumps to attack Zac Efron and hits his head on the fan, that's one of the funniest moments, man.
And uses the trampoline to repel the beer can back at Zac Efron.
And he catches it. Like,
yes, yeah. When he throws the beer can at Zac Efron and he catches it.
I do have to say that maybe one of my favorite parts of the movie is the little thing that the Alamo shows before, where Zac Efron and Seth Rogen are being interviewed by the Workaholic guys.
Yeah.
And they're just going back and forth about how hot Zac Efron is and
how
stupid Seth Rogen is. It's just really funny.
I'm Jewish. You don't look Jewish.
So his friend we were talking about,
Yeah.
it wasn't the Always Sunny, it's the League. He's Frank the Body Gibbiotti.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why it's familiar.
All right.
Yeah, I couldn't recognize him anywhere, but I knew him.
High school
Yeah.
reunion,
Yeah.
their douchey friend from,
Yeah.
I think Zac Efron's really good in this.
Yeah.
Not even just funny, but like his character actually has a good story to him. That's like, it's not super over the top, like dramatic or anything like that. But the fact that they even put that in there and made him more of a likable character. Because if it had just been like, douchey guys live next door, and how does this family? It wouldn't have stuck with me as much as I think this does. Like that, I think the story is actually really good.
Yeah. Dave Franco calls out the whole,
None of
my
this
brother does the same frat stuff, like all these stories that your trying to live up to
Yeah.
are the same. Like it's all this like ruse that's been built up. It
Right.
means nothing.
Yeah.
Everyone has the same stories.
And it is like, because Zac Efron's character is so cool for the first third or so of the movie that then like when they go to the job fair and he talks to the guys from AT&T, he doesn't know what AT&T does, and then they're like, "What's your GPA?" And he's like, "Low twos." Nah, I'm just kidding. All straight ones. And they're like, "You're too dumb." Yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was really good, and it's kind of cool. Like, I'll be honest, the guy from High School Musical to me would never have been somebody that I would have expected to be as genuinely funny and talented as he really is.
Yeah, and here's a fun little scene with Rose Byrne and Seth Rogen arguing back and forth about what they're going to do. I don't know. I'm just trying to make this review a little longer.
Is this really a scene? Because you've been giving me scenes that don't exist.
No, I don't know.
Lately,
there wasn't a scene last week of Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy talking with each
No.
other. What scene did you put in?
well, I did the one in the storage closet, but that's not how you described it in the episode.
Yeah. Well, this is Rose Byrne and Seth Rogen. I'm sure there's a scene of them together.
With a baby, probably.
Is that a balloon? You find a balloon? Oh, that's not a balloon! Oh, Jesus!
All right. Your baby has HIV. Is how bad this could have gone. The condom was unused.
Who says that to a couple of parents?
Ma'am, okay, chill out.
Speaking of which, the baby's fucking cute in that movie.
The baby is the best part of the movie. I forgot about that. Oh my gosh.
Like when they're fucking and he turns her away, and then she turns her head's like and smiling and super stoked. It's great.
That baby has to grow up to be like some kind of actual star, because the fact that they were able to like get that baby to act on cue.
And then the credits is the baby dressed up like all the actors.
Heisenberg, yeah.
Oh, so good.
It's great.
Yeah. Oh man.
So am I the only one who noticed that? So they went through all the trouble to get to the switch box in Zac Efron's room, but there was a switch box on the outside that Christopher Plaza's character
I know,
was
I
able to
noticed.
control, and
I
they
know.
walked by it
Well,
several
that's
times.
the point. You know,
Yeah.
he's like saying, "Hey, just don't let anybody know, but you can do this."
Yeah.
That's like the point of it.
Yeah.
There was no need for them to do all that stuff.
Right. Oh man. Yeah. It's a funny movie.
Yeah.
Totally
Next week we're seeing Godzilla.
Yeah, we are.
I can't believe that's next week.
I know.
It's exciting. I feel like what? So then X-Men, and then what?
I don't know. The 30th. I
Is
don't remember.
Is it a
June 1st or
quiet?
something?
No, I just mean like it sounds like for the whole summer, like until Guardians.
No, there's lots of stuff. It's just
Is there?
Yeah.
What am I forgetting?
I don't know.
Anyway.
If you vamp for a second, I'll look it up.
Yeah.
All right. I like Woody from Toy Story.
Woody is awesome.
Did you guys see any cool teasers this week?
Oh yeah. Well, the Red Band trailer
the
for
30th is Maleficent and A Million Ways to Die in the West.
I was just gonna say the Red Band trailer for A Million Days to Die in the West is amazing.
Then we have Edge of Tomorrow, How to Train Your Dragon 2, and 21 Jump Street the same day.
Edge of Tomorrow is that early in the summer? Wow.
Here's a bummer, though. The only movie scheduled so far on June 20th is Think Like a Man 2.
Well, there were two.
But what are we going to do on the 27th of June? We either have Transformers or Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer won't be wide. Snowpiercer will be a limited release, so we'll see Transformers.
Dude, what the hell? On July 4th is the Melissa McCarthy Tammy movie.
What? There's
and
probably
then
like
Begin Again.
July 4th?
Yeah.
Independence Day?
Yeah.
Big Willie Weekend?
Then we have to wait a week for Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, man.
Weird.
Yeah.
I can't believe we don't have like another huge movie coming out.
Well, Transformers. So they probably
That's
are
the week
assuming
before, though.
I know, but they're probably assuming the Transformers would ruin anything that weekend anyway. Because 4th of July is, I don't think, tradition. Like the actual Well, no. The weekend is usually
it's really huge.
Really huge. So
yeah,
that is bad.
That's what's coming out.
Didn't see any other cool trailers?
Why? What am I
More
forgetting?
teasers? Nothing?
No. There's more people talking about Prometheus 2, but they aren't saying anything.
Mhm.
But why? What am I forgetting?
That's okay. It's all right. Maybe check
Maybe
your
I didn't
Facebook
see it.
once in a while.
You're talking about Jean-Claude Van Damme's Damn Van.
Yeah, there's a teaser for that out.
It's good. It's good.
So when are you done shooting that?
No,
How
not
the
even close.
fuck is there a teaser for it then?
Because we had 2 scenes worth that was able to be cut into 30 seconds. So it's
When's
teasing.
when is this going to be
that There's
done?
going to be more when it gets done.
Come on, filmmaker. Fuck.
I'm hoping before the end of July because I got shit to do in July. So
Yeah, what are you doing in July?
A 40 hour.
Oh,
man,
you're crazy.
Yeah, and then hopefully we'll be writing season 2 of the Pod Show. I hope.
Yeah.
So we can start on that next year.
All right.
Cool.
Godzilla.
Bye. Send us back to the Stone Age.
Bye.
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 Is that the tagline?
Oh, that's what Walter White says.
Oh.
Walter White.
Is that his name? I don't even know.
Bryan Cranston.
I know, but that's his character's name in Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah, Walter White, yeah.
Yeah, well then, yeah, that's what he said.
What? Anyway.
Oh, we didn't talk about Mad Men. Just kidding.
Visit our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can tweet us at real_nerds. You can email us even, realnerds@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Hey, stream us on Stitcher. You want to call us? 720-6nerds5. And download us on iTunes. Just search Real Nerds. Thank you, Joe Kempter, for the wonderful voiceover. And also Spark Mandrill for the wonderful late-night jazz smooth sounds of movies. You can find them on SoundCloud. This has been a Nebulous Visions production.